Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Arena Talks. Here we have Asude Kacıroğlu, our Secretary General of ArenaMUN'u, and Kuzey Ertem, our Director General of ArenaMUN'u. I am Atahan Şahin, I will be your host, and I am the Deputy Secretary General of ArenaMUN'u. Now, welcome. If you would please introduce yourselves.
My name is Asude. I'm the Secretary General of this conference. I'm organizing the academic team and the committees at this conference, and also I'm organizing the whole of the conference.
And Kuzey.
Hi everyone, my name is Kuzey Ertem. I'm the Director General of this conference, and my role is in the conference is organizing the organization team.
And my role as Deputy Secretary General is to assist Asude and Kuzey duties and also help the academic team during any process. Now, I want to start with the first question. What is MUN, or Model United Nations to be more exact?
Model United Nations is a simulation of the United Nations. In this conference, high school and university students are gathering together and they're debating about the global issues and they're trying to resolve these issues that affects the whole world. Like, it's the same simulation of the United Nations.
Briefly, MUN shows your representing your, it shows your diplomatic side. Yeah.
Thank you. The second question now. What has MUN changed in your life? What has it given to you, to your personality, to your skills that you use in your everyday life? How has MUN affected it?
First and mostly, it absolutely develops your English, for sure.
And it develops our social skills and like talking for public, and you can develop your language information and general culture skills.
It also develops your general understanding of how world politics works and how global issues are meant to be resolved and how can they be solved. Generally gives you better understanding of how the world works. Now, let's talk about ArenaMUN, shall we? Why is ArenaMUN different from other MUNs?
We have some special committees. Our first special committee is Diplomasi. Like, it's not a special committee, it's a General Assembly committee, but it's the first in Turkey, in whole Turkey. We are doing it first, and our US Criminal Court Committee is also first in Bursa. That's a special opportunity for our delegates.
And Kuzey?
My opinions is same as Asude, so I have nothing to say now.
Now, as we all know, our organization team is working and has worked until now very hard to provide unique experience for our delegates. And now a question that needs to be asked is, what was the hardest part of developing, of organizing ArenaMUN? From the idea stage to the conference itself, what was the hardest part?
First of all, I want to say that the hardest part is planning the date. It's like most hardest part for sure, because we put our conference date, like any date, and after then some different MUNs put their MUN in this date too, so it's so hard to choose.
To not be on the same date with another conference, it's very hard, yes.
It took 2 months to choose a date for us.
Yes, it took 2 months.
But after that, it's really, when you pick a date, afterwards, it just comes by itself.
Yeah.
The organization, the academy, and it all happens by itself. Yes. The hardest part is to start. Yes.
Yeah.
Another question is, what makes a good delegate?
A good delegate should be study guide, really detailed, and they should study for their country's policies. They should read the study guide. If they have a job, they should read it also. And if you read the study guide very well, you can do the best job you can.
What makes a good delegate? From my experiences I have seen, is a good delegate is almost always confident in their abilities to speak in public, to talk to people, and to rally people, to block people behind their goal, behind their ideas. This also is what we call modern diplomacy. And MUN conferences are a really good place to hone these skills and
Define yourself.
Yes. Another question. Now, how do you choose your delegates? Now, as we all know, ArenaMUN has a lot of applications until now, and as of this shooting, their delegates can still apply to ArenaMUN. And how many was there right now? 400, 450? It's around that number.
Yes, we vote for the motivation letters. If the motivation letters are good, you have more chance to get approved. And of course, experiences is also important point, and your English level is an important point too.
And well, one thing we see in a lot of delegates in the modern times at least is the usage of AI in artificial intelligence in motivation letters, which just makes it completely we cannot accept the motivation letters even if they have a very good academic or delegation background. And Kuzey, what do you think?
I think which delegate shows their, like, how can I say it, motivation letter without AI. Be looking for the motivation letters, their experiences, and if they have a good vision, they will
be accepted.
Yeah, they will be accepted.
Now, we have briefly talked about this during what makes a good delegate, but I want to ask you, how should a delegate prepare themselves for an ArenaMUN conference? You said about reading the study guide, reading the rules of procedure, but what more is there?
If you want to be good delegates, you must be not abstain in conferences, because like there are like some problems, like you talk about something and delegates, for example, love you and you lost your confidence in the committees, but this is not an obstacle for continue in conference.
I absolutely agree. One more question that is nearly always talking point for ArenaMUN goers. Now, as we all know, there are two types of committees in ArenaMUN conferences. One is crisis committee and the other one is the General Assembly committee. Now, to briefly introduce these, the crisis committee is when there is something like an active war or some kind of crisis, really crisis going on, and the delegates are supposed to overcome this crisis and solve the issue. General Assembly committees are real UN committees that do not have an ongoing crisis but are supposed to find solutions current real world problems. And I want to ask you, what do you prefer, crisis or General Assembly?
I prefer General Assembly because, as you said, General Assembly committees is more according to the simulation of United Nations. So in my vision, that makes me like more real reality.
I prefer crisis committees because it feels like you're really in that days and in that situation. It feels more like friendly to me, so I prefer.
I'm agree with Asude because maybe I like more General Assembly, but the crisis committees is like, how can I say, more fun too. You can write the directives. If your directive is good, you can probably make everything in this committee. So that's why I like crisis too.
And going on from what you have said, crisis committees allow for more creative experiences and better problem solving. Meanwhile, General Assembly committees usually tend to focus more on the diplomacy and the public speaking part. That's something we cannot really see actively in crisis committees. Our general ArenaMUN goers and our first timers. Now, in ArenaMUN, we all know that there will be a lot of first timers. And what do you think is the one mistake that nearly all first timers do? What should they do to avoid it?
I think they're acting too shy and they don't want to talk at all because they think they're gonna embarrass themselves. But it's not like that. Everyone has a first timer experience and everyone feel that. So no one will judge the first timers like, oh, they're talk too bad. No, that's not a thing like that.
For me, delegates, first time delegates, like supposed to be like confident in the committees. Don't need to be shy in the committees because no one judge them.
Confidence is key, really, for experienced delegates and first-time delegates. It's what divides bad delegates or a mediocre delegate, average delegates, from a good and a memorable delegate. It really depends on the person, and we see first-timer delegates being confident and speaking confidently and speaking good in General Assembly committees to get awards in their first time, although it is usually unusual. And now, since most first-timers attend General Assembly committees, one mistake that I see all the first-timers make at least once is they use I instead of we, because since they are representing a country, they cannot use I language, the personal pronouns. They must use we or they or you as they in their speeches. So that is really one mistake that is always amusing to see from a first-timer, although we have to always warn them about the usage.
The reason of we saw the who's using I in the comedies because their first experience in MUNs and normally in English, they usually in generally don't say we all of time about which talking about their country. So that's why.
And lastly, we have talked about first timers and first times. I want to ask you, what was your first time and what mistakes do you remember making? Asude?
My first time was Total Emran 24. My mistake is I was shy too. I feel embarrassed about talking in front of public, but in the second and third days, I feel more confident and I could talk more. It was really good for me.
Okay.
Actually, I will be honest. My first experience is Çanakkale Junior'man, and I just want to enjoy and like have fun and spending times with my friends at first. But in the MUNs, this is not the thing you need to do. And after then, about the last day, they give the awards, and after then they see awards who's chosen or getting awards. I want to get my revenge, and in my second experience, I want to get a award too, and like work hard, and I get it.
You got an award in your second time. What did you get? Honorable. I got an honorable in my second time too. I remember in my first time, Burak Anadolu Lisesi MUN 23. Now, I was Singapore in a dissect committee about nuclear weapons. I did not talk it was a 4-day conference. I did not talk other than 1 day, and I talked only once. The committee generally was talking about how nuclear weapons not meant to be abolished, and then I got up, I said that we should abolish it all for 2 minutes. It was one of the most, I think, harshest speech that I have ever given in my MUN career. And when I sat down, like 6 or 7 people just raised their placards to answer to me because I had used all of their country names and they wanted to answer to me. But after that, I just went back to playing on my phone and not listening to the conference committee at all. Well, this was another episode of Arena Talks. I want to thank Asude and Kuzey for their valuable participation. I was your host Atahan Şahin. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you later.